Question number 101. A 12-year-old patient had cast removed from the left leg after wearing it for 8 weeks. So the patient wants to resume sports as soon as possible in order to regain the muscle strength lost while wearing the cast. So the nurse will instruct the patient in performance of option A, resistive range of motion exercise to left leg, option B, passive range of motion exercises to the right leg, and option C, active assistive range of motion exercise to the right leg, and option D, active range of motion exercises to the both legs. So option D, active range of motion exercises to the both legs are correct answer, because active range of motion exercise involve moving the own joint through their full motion to improve the flexibility, function and independence. Question number 102. A patient is preparing for total knee replacement. So during the preoperative interview process, the patient report an allergic reaction to penicillin. So which of the following is considered a side effect and not a true allergy to medication? Option A, shortness of breath. Option B, tingling lips and tongue. And option C, rash. And option D, upset stomach. So option D, upset stomach is correct answer, because there are some other side effects of penicillin such as nausea, headache, vomiting, rash, breathing difficulty, swellings, hives, dizziness and rapid pulse. Question number 103. A 67-year-old man was admitted to hospital following the closed bone fracture. So an intramedullary nail is inserted and the patient is placed in the balanced skeleton traction. So the following day the patient becomes restless, drowsy and confused, and he has difficulty breathing and appears very tired. So which additional sign or the symptom would require the immediate attention? Option A, anxiety. Option B, cold skin. Option C, constipation. And option D, patchy on chest. So option B, cold skin is the correct answer, because cold skin after the skeleton traction is a sign of potential neurovascular impairment or circulatory compromise and should be reported to healthcare provider immediately. Question number 104. A patient who is preparing for the hip surgery has an order for external pneumatic compression devices. So the nurse teaches the patient that pneumatic compression device can help to prevent option A, upper respiratory tract infection, option B, decreased breath sound, option C, deep vein thrombosis, and option D, bleeding at the surgical site. So pneumatic compression device usually we are using to prevent the chances of deep vein thrombosis. So option C is correct answer. Question number 105. The nurse is assessing an infant with GERD to help to identify any complication of GERD. What is the most important question the nurse should ask the infant parents? So option A, frequency of respiratory tract infection. Option B, frequency of vomiting. Option C, consume a low protein diet, and option D, restrict fluid intake. So option A, frequency of respiratory tract infection is correct answer, because GERD can lead to the respiratory tract infection by causing the irritation and weakening the airway defense potentially through the micro aspiration of the stomach content into the throat and the lung, which trigger the inflammatory reaction and further leads to a condition like bronchitis, acute respiratory tract infection and pneumonia. Question number 106. An 82-year-old patient has Parkinson's disease. During the assessment, the nurse would expect which of the following action to produce the most tremor activity of the hands? So option A, eating with the fork. Option B, resting hands in lap. Option C, standing with the hands loose at sides. And option D, rolling a small pill between the fingers. So option B, resting hands in the lap is correct answer, because Parkinson's disease is a movement disorder of the nervous system that worsen the over time. If we need to examine the most tremor activity, so we can keep the patient hands in lap. Correct. Question number 107. Following an open cholecystectomy, the nurse would instruct the patient to expect to resume normal activities in option A, 1 to 2 weeks, option B, 2 to 3 weeks, option C, 4 to 6 weeks, and option D, 6 to 8 weeks. So option C, 4 to 6 weeks is correct answer. Question number 108. An 8-year-old boy present with the abdominal cramps and feeling of fullness, and he frequently passes the semi-formed stool that are light yellow colored and oily, so which an abnormally foul odor. So his endoscopic examination revealed the bilious atrophy. So which food would the most suitable for the child? Option A, rye. Option B, oats. Option C, barley. And option D, wheat. So in case of your bilious atrophy is a condition where the finger-like villi in the small intestine flatten, reducing the nutrient absorption and cause the celiac disease. So that's why option B, oats, is correct answer, because oats is gluten-free diet. Question 109. A patient hospitalized with the tuberculosis has the productive cough with hemoptysis, and which of the following types of isolation room would be the best choice for the patient? Option A, reverse isolation. Option B, standard isolation. Option C, positive pressure. And option D, negative pressure. So option D, negative pressure, is correct answer, because negative pressure in tuberculosis refer to the specialized hospital rooms with the lower air pressure than outside, even designed to contain the airborne microbacterium tuberculosis particle, preventing them from the escaping out from the other area, even directing the airflow into the room, and where air is HEPA filtered before recirculation. Question 110. A patient requiring the long-term antibiotics has a central line catheter inserted into the right subclavian vein by the physician. So which of the following must be verified prior to the first use of catheter? Option A, blood return. Option B, X-ray. Option C, catheter patency. And option D, length of catheter. So option A, blood return, is correct answer. Question number 111. A patient present to the emergency department with the diminished and thready pulses, hypotension and increased pulse rate. So the patient report the weight loss and lethargy and decreased urine output. So the lab work revealed the increased level of urine specific gravity. So the nurse should suspect option A, renal failure, option B, sepsis, option C, pneumonia, and option D, dehydration. So option D, dehydration, is correct answer, because high urine specific gravity means urine is very concentrated, which indicate a lack of body fluid, means dehydration. Question number 112. A 35-year-old man is admitted with severe renal colic, and the nurse should monitor this man for the possible complications. So which of the following is the complication of renal colic? Option A, anemia. Option B, polyuria. Option C, hypertension. And option D, oliguria. So option D, oliguria, is correct answer, because renal colic complication arise from the untreated kidney stones, including the UTI, oliguria, severe pain and dehydration. Question number 113. A 1-month-old boy present with the head tilt towards the left side and the chin rotated to the right side. So there is a palpable mass of the soft tissue on the right side of the neck near the clavicle. So what would be the next step? So option A, passive muscle stretching. Option B, surgical release of the muscle. Option C, surgical removal of the mass. And option D, it's a normal mass in infant. So option B, surgical release of muscle, is correct answer. Question number 114. The nurse is planning care for the several children who were admitted during the shift. So daily weight should be planned of the care for the child who is receiving. So option A, total parental nutrition. Option B, supplemental oxygen. Option C, intravenous anti-infective. And option D, chest physiotherapy. So option A, total parental nutrition, is correct answer, because we need to continuously monitor the weight on regular basis. Question number 115. A nurse is caring for an 8-year-old male with the cystic fibrosis. So based on the nurse's understanding of the disease, so what nursing intervention should the nurse expect to perform? Option A, restrict the sodium and the fluid intake. Option B, give the anti-diarrheal medication. Option C, discourage coughing after post-oral drainage. And option D, administer the pancreatic enzyme with each meal. So option D, administer the pancreatic enzyme with each meal is correct answer, because cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease condition which causes the thickening and stick mucus to build up in the lungs, pancreas and other organs, and leading to the severe respiratory infection, even digestive issues through the symptom, and the symptom it varies from the mild symptom to severe symptom. Question number 116. A nurse is caring for the child with a diagnostic of cystic fibrosis and pneumonia. So the plan of the care include the nebulizer treatment and the chest physiotherapy. So the nurse should perform the chest physiotherapy. Option A, continuously during the nebulizer treatment. Option B, prior to the nebulizer treatment. Option C, after the nebulizer treatment. And option D, intermittently during the nebulizer treatment. So option C, after the nebulizer treatment is correct answer. Question number 117. While caring for the patient with an ileostomy, so the nurse would expect the ostomy to be located in which quadrant of the abdomen? Option A, right lower. Option B, left lower. Option C, left upper. And option D, right upper. So option A, right lower is correct answer. Question number 118. A nurse is caring for the patient receiving the total parenteral nutrition. So the patient report the sudden onset of feeling shortness of breath and anxiety. So the nurse hear the crackles in the bilateral lungs lobe of the lungs, and the patient oxygen saturation is 90% on room air. So the nurse must immediately, option A, turn off the TPN. Option D, notify the physician. Option C, assess the patient capillary blood glucose level. And option D, attempt to suction the patient airway. So option A, turn off the TPN is correct answer. Question number 119. A home health nurse is visiting a patient who recently suffered a CVA, and the nurse would most likely implement which of the following intervention to prevent the muscle and ligament deformities? Option A, daily moisture, heat and isometric exercises. Option B, daily balance training and the routine medication for the pain. And option C, instruct the patient to use the non-affected side to perform the activities of daily living. And option D, daily range of motion exercises. So option D, daily range of motion exercises is correct answer in case of patient if experience attack of CVA. Question number 120. While the nurse is administering a large volume enema, so the patient complain of cramping. So the nurse should option A, increase the flow rate. Option B, lower the fluid container. Option C, elevate the head of the bed. And option D, gently massage the abdomen. So option D, lower the fluid of the container is correct answer. It will notice any cramping after giving the large volume enema.